Hey guys, Josh Kasparik here with this week's Offense at the Snap, and I have 4 plays to review with you. After this week's tough game against Dallas, guys are asking a lot about whether Seattle can beat press man coverage and whether we're running the right schemes. Talking a lot about play calling, talking a lot about contested catches and other things like this, and just whether this team's receiver core can match up and win some battles. And so I actually highlighted 4 plays from the game, and I want to talk about a few things. I'm going to use these 4 plays to illustrate something. Winning against press coverage is not enough. Okay, you need to win at the line of scrimmage, but that's clear. Okay, you need to win at the line of scrimmage or very quickly afterwards. If you don't and you win down the field, it's already too late. The quarterback's already having to hold the ball, and it's just too much to expect him to hold the ball and then go, oh, my guy came open 15 yards down the field. It won't work. The rhythm of the play is already dead. So the biggest thing there are 2 things you need. You need to win, but you also need to finish in a fashion that makes sense. So in these 4 plays, I want to talk about how finishing is what Seattle needs to work on, and not just guys winning, because Seattle had some wins in this game, and the finishes were bad. Sometimes based on throw selection by Russell Wilson, sometimes on route finishes by receivers, and just overall not understanding that the subtleties of communication and adjustment in man press situations. Now, what man press means, I apologize. What man press means is that you're going to have man-to-man coverage, but the defender is going to get his hands on you at the line of scrimmage. Okay? So this is important to note as we get into the first play, which is Doug Baldwin's drop in the end zone on 3rd and 11. On this play, we note that it's an empty formation. Personally, I would say empty is not something I like to see very much of. I'd like to see Marshawn Lynch in the backfield as much as possible. Even if you're not running him, perhaps getting him some space on swing passes out of the backfield would be more effective. With Unger down, some of the running playbook is going to be pared down to simplify it for Schilling. But they need to find ways of getting Lynch involved, and going to a more empty formation because you can't run isn't ideal. And going empty on a 3rd and long is also not necessarily the ideal situation. But let's discuss the formation to this Baldwin incompletion. So we know it's empty, but let's look at the fact that Lynch is actually in the game. He's at the bottom of the screen, the very bottom, with Doug Baldwin in the slot. Then at the top of the screen, you have a trips formation with Brian Walters at the very top of the screen. You have Kirst in the slot, and then you have Luke Wilson tight to the line of scrimmage but standing up as a receiver. Now, the big thing here, if you're watching the play, by the way, if you feel like the All-22 makes the guys too small and you can't necessarily see them, and you want to see the play actually develop in the broadcast sense, I've included the broadcast plays all in a tighter package. I couldn't do them individually because of some upload handicaps with Vimeo right now. So, getting back to this play, sorry, I'm kind of drifting between stuff. Getting back to this play, If you pause it 4 seconds in as the play develops, you can see that the development of the play, Luke Wilson's going to run a short pattern. He's going to stop at the 9. He's going to turn and look for the ball, but Russell Wilson can't throw it there. Kearse is still press coverage. Brian Walters hasn't cleared his defender, and Lynch is covered well. The only guy that gets off the line of scrimmage unmolested is Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin is the guy to go to here. If you notice, 4 seconds in, he's about to cut in behind one of the linebackers at the 6. And Russell's going to really thread the needle here. He's getting ready to throw Baldwin open. He's got a good throwing window. He just has to gun it. So let's spin the play forward now from 4 seconds. Let's pause it as the throw comes in. Okay, so about at about 5 seconds, you can see a tiny ball. If you watch full screen, you can see the ball come in. Baldwin is actually going to miss the catch here. He's actually going to drop it well before the defender makes contact. It's the only throw Wilson can make here. Okay? Baldwin is the only guy that's going to be able to make a play with the coverage as it was. Nobody getting free. And what people will see at the top of the screen is they'll think Brian Walters is open, but he's not. As soon as that ball is released, the corner just kind of releases his coverage. But so what happens is the ball, Russell Wilson makes the right throw here. Baldwin's unmolested. He's running a deeper crossing pattern behind the defenders and in front of the safeties. And in this case, there's enough open space if he throws it hard enough to get the ball there. But if he, doesn't put enough on it, it can be picked off. The safeties can catch up to Doug Baldwin. So it's the only pass he can throw. And Baldwin can't make the catch. And that's at least drop number 5 on the year. And this is a catch Baldwin has to make. Guys talk about being great receivers. And that's a catch great receivers make. As we look at the play, there's just nowhere else to go here. The finish is bad. The play is good, the throw selection is good, the finish is bad. So let's move on to play number 2 that I highlighted. And this is an incomplete pass to Brian Walters, I believe. Yes, that's the one. Now really quickly, we'll get a look at the formation. So if you let the video drift to about 1 second in, you can get a feel for that. Baldwin's at the bottom of the screen, Kearse is at the top. So the outside receivers on this passing situation with the Cowboys running a formation of 2 linebackers and a safety up, I believe. No, that's not a safety. Excuse me. That's a linebacker. He's going to take Lynch away here. Baldwin and Kearse are not open. So Baldwin and Kearse are the flanking receivers. Luke Wilson's going to run inside here against the linebackers. And Brian Walters is in the slot at the top of the screen. Now, the thing I want to note here is that Brian Walters actually wins. What I mean is, he's actually going to, at the snap, put the corner on one side of him. Okay, that's actually a win in man-to-man coverage. The problem is, you know, in this case with man-to-man coverage, is your original route often dies. The timing gets screwed up. It just, without rhythm offense. What's going to happen here, though, as you carry it through and you see sort of things develop, both Baldwin and Kearse aren't open. So carry the play forward to about 5 seconds in. You'll see that Walters has beat the defender inside. Okay, so this is the guy that now Russell wants to throw to. You have a single high safety. You have Baldwin and Kearse, they're blocked. So the only guy he has the ability to get the ball to here is Walters. And here's where I say the finish is bad. Okay, so about 6 seconds in, you see the development of the play. Russell's getting set, I think, to throw here. And what happens is Walters starts to break his route. So he starts to gather his feet under him to turn and look for the ball. Okay, Russell's getting ready to throw on the break. So Russell's throwing on the break. But what's going to happen is he's breaking, but he breaks incorrectly. So Walters actually breaks incorrectly. It's going to be an outside throw because Russell wants to isolate Walters and put Walters and the defender, put Walters between the ball and the defender. Okay, so to make it less of a contested throw. Sorry. So in this case, as soon as Walters starts breaking, I think he takes a couple of extra steps, but he also suddenly stops for some reason at the top of the route. Now, on replay, it seems like, 4 or 5 seconds. But once he stops, he kind of, if you watch the replay on the Fox broadcast, you can see the play kind of develop, and the ball has to be out because you're talking. It's a pretty tough throw. So he's going to throw on the break of Walters. Walters is going to basically sit at the top of the route rather than carry himself away from the defender to the sideline, which is where the throw is going to go. And this is where the bad finish comes in. It's the right throw selection from Russell Wilson here. But Walters doesn't continue to the sideline. He doesn't give himself a good chance to make the catch here. So everybody thinks, oh, it's a bad play. It's a tough play. It's, 3rd and 10. How are they supposed to convert that? But with a better finish from Walters on his break and breaking to the sideline because Kearse has carried his man out of the picture and there's lots of open space, you would have had a completion here. Next is the Luke Wilson incompletion. And I want to take a look at this because it's something Danny Kelly actually asked me about on Twitter. Because I was watching all of these plays and I was trying to get a sense of who was winning in man coverage, who wasn't winning. And he asked if motion would help with that. Or bunch formations. I think both are gimmicks that are useful against press man, but you're also limited to some degree with motion in your route trees that can develop from that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are totally limited, but there are some limitations to that. What he means is sending a guy in motion and slightly before you slightly before he gets to the line to start setting up, you snap the ball. So you essentially make it really hard with him moving to get jammed or pushed or pressed. I wish I had a good example of this for you, but I don't. But in this case, Seattle's actually going to use motion. Luke Wilson is going to come in motion from the other side of the line, and he's going to set up as a receiver. Baldwin's at the bottom of the screen. Kearse is at the top again. Seattle's going to run a play-action pass with Coleman and Lynch in. So Seattle's going to bring Luke Wilson in motion, and a linebacker goes down to meet him. Or no, sorry, that's a linebacker. They're basically, if you look at the Cowboys here, they're geared up to stop a running play. They have pretty much 9 in the box here, it looks like. Yeah, it's 9 in the box. Or 8. No, I'm sorry, it's 8 in the box. Excuse me. You can tell because if you count the guys at around the line of scrimmage and inside the tackles here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 linemen. You have a linebacker on Luke Wilson here. So this is at 6 seconds in as Luke Wilson is setting up after his motion. If you want to get a look at this, so you're gonna have. So one of the safeties is up in the box. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 linemen, linebacker on Luke Wilson. You have 3 guys behind the line. So you have 8 in the box here with a single high safety look. The big thing here is that this is a sort of a play action fake. It's not really a fake, but if you watch the play unfold, they get what they want, which is Kearse moves up the field. He carries his coverage with him. Or actually, is that... So what this looks like to me is Kearse on the outside at the bottom of the screen, and you have Paul Richardson at the top. They run a play action, and Richardson carries his man deep. They clear space for Wilson after bringing him in motion, and he clears the coverage. Here's the thing that hangs the play up. About 8 seconds in, you can see the development of the play. Luke Wilson's still trying to shake loose from the defender. But everybody's covered, basically. But Richardson actually carries his guy deep. This is going to clear lots of space on a... It's not a wheel route, because a wheel route would have developed earlier. But Wilson's going to run once he clears the defender. The problem here is now Russell's under pressure and needs to readjust in the pocket, because now with the defender's back turned, okay, with the defender's back turned, this is at 13 seconds, or 13, it's 11 seconds in. Wilson's actually cleared the defender, and Russell should be able to throw the ball here. The big problem is he's got to reestablish in the pocket because he's under pressure. Schilling has lost his man. Wilson tries to reset and throw the ball, but he can't get enough on it. It winds up underthrown. But if you watch the replay on the Fox broadcast, you can see that it should have been pass interference. But if you look at the result, they got what they wanted. They got exactly what they wanted. They wanted Luke Wilson one-on-one with the linebacker. And Luke Wilson does beat him, despite the physicality. So, this is just another play where if you give Russell Wilson a little bit better protection and he's able to get something on this ball, rather than resetting and then trying to throw with the delay that the pressure caused, he probably underthrew this a little bit so that he didn't lead, Luke Wilson into an interception or something like that. He's trying to he's trying to get the ball to Wilson without also, possibly overthrowing him. I mean, really, that little instance of pressure where Russell has to reset in the pocket messes up the whole timing of the play. But as I said, if you watch the replay, it should have been pass interference because 51 gets face guards before the ball gets there. It's face guarding. It's actually a thing that's called. So, despite what Troy Aikman said on the broadcast. Okay, so let's go to the last play. And this is a even better demonstration than I can tell you about win versus finish. And this is a Kearse play near the end of the game. Or no, I'm sorry, it's not near the end of the game. What am I talking about? It's a key throw in the fourth quarter. Let's look at the formation. You have Brian Walters to the bottom of the screen, Doug Baldwin at the top, and Kearse in the slot. It's a three receiver formation with two tight ends. Heifeld and Luke Wilson are going to be at the end of the line of scrimmage. This is because Dallas is showing blitz against it. And you have two linebackers again, so you have the single high safety. See, they're basically running Seattle's defense against them. But here's the thing. So you have Kearse at the numbers in the slot. And so snap happens about 4 seconds in. And I want to show you something. So Kearse breaks to the numbers, selling sort of an outside route. This kind of turns the corner's feet, and he's going to basically jump back inside. So this is almost like the move we saw against Washington. What you're going to see on the Fox broadcast, if you want to watch that to get a closer look at it, is that the corner's actually going to reach back and try to get his arm on Kearse here, but Kearse is going to actually rip it down. So he's going to rip it off. He's got to win to the inside. Now here's the thing. I don't know what his route calls for, but this is one of those things where an offense needs to adjust on the fly to man coverage and especially the spacing on the field. And so the best situation here is for Russell Wilson to throw to the seam and for Kearse to automatically, once he clears the defender, to get to the hash marks, to or a little closer to the middle of the field. Because if you look at the safety, he's now got this defender pushed to the outside of the numbers at the 20-yard line. So we're still looking at 5 seconds in. So he's got this defender turned to the numbers toward the sideline. He's got all this space in front of the safety to work, and he still stays with the defender. He basically makes the defender's job easy. And Russell has to make a throw here. And it's a quick throw. So I'm not sure what the route is or what the timing call was, but this is one of those things where you need an adjustment by the offense. And I think that's what Seattle wasn't getting this game. It wasn't getting those little on the fly adjustments it needs, particularly in press man coverage, where you just adapt and you look for space once you clear your man. I think this is why I felt better about the offense once I saw some of this film, because there's just guys get it. There are guys that won. You're not going to win every time, and you might win 2 times out of 10, or 3 times out of 15. But you need to, in those wins, maximize your chances of success. And sometimes that means a little bit of improvisation on the field. You know, not everything not everything in this particular situation in press man is a definite order. It's more of a suggestion. So I think the biggest thing coming away with all of this analysis and all of these plays is just that the finishes need to be better. There are throw selections that Russell needs to make better, and there's some adaptation that once you clear a defender, like on this last play with Kearse, if you carry it through, he can move. He should move automatically to as soon as he beats that defender, he should automatically move to the middle of the field, because it's more open. There's more chance for Russell to put the ball on Kearse and in front of the safety where there's no threat, and you make the defender's job of contesting it impossible. Okay? So that's what I have for you this week. Hopefully you understand that. If you have questions, go ahead and leave comments. I realize that sometimes this can get rambly, as I'm trying to keep track of 22 pieces on the field. So I hope that these are clear. If anything's not, please let me know. I will clarify in the comments if I can. All right? Thanks, and I'll see you next week.